Okay, so the final page of this section, I talked to you a little bit more about the E. In this week's computer lab, you will see that there's another way of expressing numbers in scientific notation. Washington population can be written as 7.7 times 10 to the 6th, but sometimes you will see 7.7 E6 or E plus 6. The plus just means that the 6 is a positive number, so these are exactly the same information. So the E stands for exponent, and the exponent is on a base of 10. So these are just two different ways of saying the same thing. And so I would like you to go back to the table above and rewrite the scientific notation in the second way, which I did already up here in parentheses. And you can see that it's even more compact than the already compact scientific notation. Finally, let's talk about decimals, because in your online homework, when you get a decimal answer, you are sometimes instructed to round to a specific place value. So if we use this number, 2.7182, the place value of the decimals, so the 2 is in the ones place. I love that that's upside down. So the 2 is in the ones place, and then the first decimal place is the tenths place. The second decimal is the hundredths, and the third is the thousandths. And that's really all you need to know. So if I tell you to round this number to the nearest tenth, you underline the 7, and the 1 is the decider. And then you just say, okay, then it's 2.7. The only thing that's different with decimals is that we don't need to write out zeros afterwards. We just get rid of the rest of the decimals. So it's kind of like decluttering or cleaning this up. If I want to round this to the nearest whole number or to the ones place, I underline the 2 and the 7 is the decider. So I round to 3. If I want to round to the nearest hundredth, I underline the 1 in the hundredths place and the 8 is the decider. So I round 2.72. Often if you have a money answer, you're going to keep 2 decimal places, unless I say round to the nearest whole dollar. And finally, what if your final grade is 85.75% and the instructor says they will round to the nearest whole percent? Well, the nearest whole number means that we're rounding to the nearest ones place, and that would round up to 86%. If I wanted to round to the nearest tenth of a percent, then we're rounding to the 7, to the tenths place. Underline the 7, and we round up to 85.8%. So that's probably review for you, but I hope that's helpful.